Okay, this is the slower one. Striker's Fury. Alright, we got that. Alright, the damage is good, but let's get out the big boy. Yeah, look at that. I don't know, man. This looks like it does more work. I'm sorry, that just looks like it does more work. That other gun, on paper, the numbers said that it's higher, but Torrent is the GOAT. Minasan konnichiwa. It is the big homie Khan. Welcome to another Anthem video. This time we are going to be taking a look at two autocannons for the Colossus class. And real talk, I think you guys who come to the live streams over on Mixer already know that I am a huge fan of the Colossus. I just love putting that big gun out, letting it loose. It's just something about seeing all them numbers, man, just knowing that you're doing all that damage and just standing there like, what? It's just, I don't know, man. The Colossus is just dope to me. When I first got my hands on the Colossus during the open demo of the game, I thought, wow, yeah, this is my class right here. And it was something about the autocannons and that whole, you know, Predator Jesse the Body standing there with the minigun just blazing. It was just something about that was so much fun. And the gun that you get from the beginning is the cloudburst, and the cloudburst was nice. You know, I was like, oh man, this is a pretty cool gun. But once I got my hand on the torrent, that thing just stole my heart. And today we're going to be taking a look at the masterwork version of the torrent, and we're going to be looking at the legendary version of the cloudburst. Now, if you don't know the difference, the legendary is the highest tier that you can get for weapons and mods and all that other stuff. You'll see 5 little triangle type things, and then with the masterworks are slightly below that, and you'll see 4. You can basically tell the color. The yellow are the legendaries, and then the orange are the masterworks. But today we're going to be taking a look at that. And before we get started, before I forget, I want to give a huge shout out to PR Writer for leaving a comment on the last Anthem video that says, thanks bro, I got Elemental Rage and just got this, gonna try with the fire grenade as well. Then he also left another comment saying, Khan, it works great with the storm. That priming for the extra damage for the stacks is nice. Found myself not using the nade as much since the beam is so strong. Best setup I found so far for boss mobs. Thank you, PR Writer, for that comment, and thank you to all of you guys who leave comments on these videos. It does help the video out a lot. If you have a comment or you want to talk, chat it up, let me know. Let's get started. Alright, so as usual, let's take a look at the first weapon. This is going to be the legendary version of the cloudburst. This is called the Fist of Stral. With this weapon, it is going to trigger this, I guess, kind of buff where you do extra damage 10% for 5 seconds. It stacks up to 10 times, basically giving you 100% more damage. Got not the best roll, I would say. I'm sure I've seen some ridiculous rolls on Twitter for all kinds of guns, not this one in particular, but you know, just wanting to have a lot of flat out damage on top of them. But this one, it is what it is. But the thing that we really want to compare when we talk about which one that we think is maybe better is what does the actual bonus or the perk do. Now this one, again, it will give me 100% more damage, and the thing about the cloudburst is that it has an actual higher base damage than something like the torrent. Now again, as I said before, if you look at the top, you'll see there are 5 little triangles, which means that this is a legendary, so this is supposed to be an even rarer or better version than the base version of the cloudburst. Or so yeah, just keep that in mind. Now moving right along, getting on to my favorite gun, of this class. We have the Endless Siege. This is the masterwork version of the torrent. This one says accuracy improves the longer that you fire, and the magazine size is increased by 100%, and the damage is increased by 100%. So already, in my opinion, this one is winning because you have that 100% damage without the stacks. You also have twice the ammo that you would have on this base, and then on top of that, it's even more accurate the longer that you fire. So you won't have to worry about bullets just kind of going all over the place. It's, in my opinion, just a bit better of a weapon, well, a better of a talent that you could get. Now, we do have some other minor attributes on this. Again, nothing that I would say is super amazing. I'd love to get even more damage on this, but it is what it is. So now that we've taken a look at the perks, let's take a look at the stats. So looking at the Fist of Stral, it's got damage of 360, RPM of about 1,000. The ammo count for this, which is pretty important, is at 150, and then the range for this weapon is 35. What that means, who knows? So again, you get the Striker's Fury bonus, and yeah, it stacks up to 100, giving you more base damage of about 100%. So then moving on to the Endless Siege, this one has damage of 420, so that's already up. The RPM is down at 900, down by about 100. The ammo count, which is super important, is at 400. Just think about that, 400. And then the range is at 35, same thing. So you can already see, you know, just from what the weapons are by themselves, the torrent just kind of wins flat out. And, you know, that's just what it is. In my opinion, it's a better weapon. And even looking at the numbers, looking at the stats, it's a better weapon. That Striker's bonus or whatever that's supposed to be in the Fist of Stral, it just isn't strong enough. I think if I had to make a recommendation to make it so that you would even want to pick that gun, it would have to do way more damage. Like, the base damage on it is lower than the turret, and that damage that it gets, it's the exact same as, you know, the turret's masterwork version, which gives it another 100%. So it's just flat out does less damage, and it's slightly slower, slightly faster by 100 RPM, and then it has a much smaller clip. So there's really no reason to pick it over the other, and I think that, yeah, that needs to be adjusted to kind of make that gun worth, you know, picking up, especially with the lore behind it of being one of the original miniguns or autocannons that were, you know, used in some kind of war or whatever. There's lore behind it. I'm sure you get the gun, you'll be able to read it and all that. But, you know, it's a pretty cool gun. It starts up a little bit faster than the turret when you talk about, you know, how it rolls up or charges up. But yeah, I really think that it really needs to just do a lot more damage. They need to up that base clock. If it's gonna have less rounds in the clip, it's got to do, I would almost say, oh man, let's just get ridiculous and then we can scale it back, I guess. Let's just say put it at about 300% more damage than what it's doing. I don't think 100 is really going to do it. I think just slap it up to 3, just because, get it closer in line to having it do as much damage because it has less bullets, or some kind of equivalent somewhere around there. Like, it would have to do as much sustained damage or as much burst damage as the other one would do in sustained damage, or a little bit less than that, maybe a little bit less. A little bit, like having the same would be kind of ridiculous, but a little bit less, somewhere close to there. But I think bottom line is that it just needs to do more damage. But the way that it is, yeah, it's not winning any awards over here. But with that being said, it's not a complete loss to have the Fist of Stral. One thing that you might notice from the video is that when you shoot the fans, you don't get any bonus. But one thing that you can do with it, if you're running both of them, if you're running the Fist of Stral and you are running the, what I believe is the endless, or whatever that thing is, endless siege. What you could do is get the Striker's Fury, shoot at an enemy, get Striker's Fury, kind of like that, and then what you would do is switch weapons to the endless siege, so that you get that higher base clock and you get the extra damage and all of that other stuff. So you could basically have one weapon, get the buff, switch, and then get the other weapons, just damage and all that other stuff, and have that for, it's about 5 seconds, and 5 seconds isn't really a lot because of the switching time. But the good thing about it is that if you're already shooting with the Fist of Stral, as long as you're aiming down sight and holding that button so that the wheel or the Gatling gun keeps spinning, when you switch over to the other weapon, the Gatling gun is already spinning a little bit, so that when you do switch, it doesn't have as much to go, and it starts up and you'll get that 5 seconds of extra damage. So that is something to kind of know and maybe use if you want. I personally haven't found a grenade launcher that I like with the Colossus. I've tried a couple of them. The sticky ones, it's okay, and then the other ones that just kind of like bounce around. They don't really, for me personally, I'm not really satisfied playing with the grenade launchers. I'd actually like to see what the Masterworks versions or the legendary versions of those are like. But yeah, I'm not really too into those, but these kind of Gatling guns I really do like, and hopefully I can get a legendary version of the Endless Siege, and then hopefully I'll get something with some better talents now that they've reworked a bit of how the Masterworks and the legendaries are going to go in the future with their minor perks. And if you don't know about that, then I can cover that in another video, but there's a lot of word about that already, with the talents being that they're going to be pertinent to the weapon. So you shouldn't really have pistol ammo, auto rifle, or autocannon ammo, and then you know, something to do with the marksman rifle. That stuff should be gone from weapons going forward. So I'm looking forward to seeing some better drops from now that the update is out, and hopefully you guys will get some better drops as well. Let me know what's your favorite weapon in the game so far. There's still a lot that I'm still trying to get that I haven't really had a lot of luck getting. I've been getting a lot of duplicates. I think I've had like 3 Papa Pumps. I've had two or three elemental the elemental guns that I had in the last video, and then it's just been a lot of the same stuff. So I'm looking for some new weapons, and hopefully I can get some so I can keep making these kinds of videos for you. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to leave a comment down below. Let me know what you thought about it, and hopefully you know, I'll see you guys soon. So enjoy the rest of your weekend, and if you guys are playing a division, enjoy the open beta. And with all of that being said, I'm Khan, and I will see you in the next video. Take it easy, have a great one. I'm out. Peace.